up, but may Allah bless you all for making it through. So we're going to get started with our special guest speaker all the way from Manchester, UK, Brother Zaid El Omar. Some of you know him as well from his social media where he's very active. He's an activist, he posts reminders, and alhamdulillah, he has a lot of traction and he's been spreading a lot of barakah. So if you're not following him already, follow him. But inshallah, we brought him here for you to Queens, New York, to give a talk about finding contentment through dua and remembrance, and especially tips on maintaining iman in the 21st century. So let's get started with some Quran from our brother Muhammad, who won second place in the Quran competition today. Say takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
May Allah bless him. Okay, Muhammad, come forward, inshallah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ادفع بالتي هي أحسن السيئة نحن أعلم بما يصفون وقل رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها ومن ورائهم برزخ إلى يوم يبعثون فإذا نفخ في الصور فلا أنساب بينهم يومئذ ولا يتساءلون فمن ثقلت موازينه فأولئك هم المفلحون ومن خفت موازينه فأولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم في جهنم خالدون تلفح وجوههم النار وهم فيها كالحون ألم تكن آياتي تتلى عليكم فكنتم بها تكذبون قالوا ربنا غلبت علينا شقوتنا وكنا قوما ضالين ربنا أخرجنا منها فإن عدنا فإنا ظالمون قال اخسئوا فيها ولا تكلمون إنه كان فريق من عبادي يقولون ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين فاتخذتموهم سخريا حتى أنسوكم ذكري وكنتم فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم ومن يدع مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين صدق الله العظيم.
Takbir. Allah bless our brother Muhammad, keep his voice good for the rest of his life, inshallah. And may we benefit from it for generations to come. Inshallah. So make your kids also follow. So let's get started. Inshallah, we have some announcements. There's some events. Brothers, pay attention. We want to see you here. We don't get as many brothers as we want to. So we have the Jitsu, we have the book club, and then we're also, during Ramadan, we're going to have a brothers halaqah, only brothers. So we want to see you here. If you're local, come talk to me. I'll get your phone number, I'll add you to our group chat. We want to see you and build a community, inshallah. For the sisters, you guys don't have that problem, but you have some programs. Sisters halaqah every Friday at 6, and then every Friday we have the Embracing Ramadan series, which is at 7, where, well, it's Ramadan in like a few days, but inshallah, we have another Friday where we're going to have an Embracing Ramadan series program. We are raising money to renovate the center. As you might have seen, there's some areas that could be improved, and we need your support, inshallah. As well, iftar sponsorship, if you want to sponsor iftar. I don't know if you guys are all balling like that, but we need some support. And then if you want to volunteer as well, come talk to me or talk to one of the sisters that are in charge. So, last thing is we have some brothers here who are doing custom hoodies. They brought their machine, they're in the lobby. So we're going to do a break in between the halaqah and between the lecture, and we're going to let you guys go check it out, or you can check it out after. They'll probably have a lot of business, inshallah, may Allah bless their business, but it's really cool. You could go talk to them, get a custom hoodie made, inshallah. And if you want to follow our social media, keep up with all our events, scan the QR code. And without further ado, let's begin. Brother Zaid, come forward, inshallah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه. الحمد لله رب العالمين. All praise and thanks is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for whose forgiveness we always seek. Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. So first of all, I just want to say that during this talk, which will be approximately maybe 45 minutes or so, depending on when I am stopped, and then there will be a chance for Q&A, inshallah. If anyone has any questions, I will try my best to answer them if I'm able to, and if I'm unable to, I will ask my Shaykh, inshallah, and so on and so forth. The whole point of every talk, as I say, or every reminder, or every video that you watch online, from any social media platform, or any piece of content that you read, is not, oh, I know this, I know what this guy is saying, or I know this hadith, I know this Quran ayah. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a hafiz, it doesn't matter if you know 1,000 hadith, What matters is, am I applying this? It's better for you to just know one hadith and apply it, or one ayah of the Quran and actually apply it, than to know 1,000 hadith and apply none of them. Because then you could be a hypocrite. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. O you who believe, why do you say that which you do not do? Kabura maqtan inda Allahi an taqulu ma la taf'alun. There's a great evil, there's a great shame for you to say that which you do not do. Please let us always remember this as an intention when we seek knowledge, because what we're all doing here today, and this is a sign that inshallah Allah has seen good in every single one of you, inshallah, is that He has allowed you to come to a place where the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioned. First of all, the mosque. Second of all, a lecture where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be mentioned, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to be mentioned, and so on and so forth. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was once asked, what are, or they say that the Rawda, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to live, was a Riyadh min Riyadh al-Jannah, with a garden of the gardens of paradise in Medina. A lot of people have visited there and perhaps prayed there. And the Sahaba asked, why is this? And some of the scholars say that the tafsir of it was because it's where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught knowledge of this religion. And that is why it became a garden of the gardens of paradise, because the more knowledge you have, the closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you can get. The more, if you apply that knowledge, the more it enters your heart. Then you imagine being more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you enter a high level of Jannah forever. Is this not the ultimate goal and aim of every single Muslim? And as I say all the time, it's not a joke, it's not a fairy tale, it's not make-believe. Do we really believe this as Muslims? Do we really believe that we're going to die and we're going to go to a place called Al-Barzakh? We really believe we're going to die and we're going to be resurrected on the Day of Judgment and stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of Kings. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is either going to send you to Jahannam or He's going to send you to Jannah. This is not a joke, it's going to happen. So we have to prepare for this day, or this final destination, as best as we can. And the best way to prepare for it is to arm ourselves with beneficial Islamic knowledge that will help us become more practicing Muslims, because we truly believe in that day of reckoning, we truly believe in Jannah, we truly believe in that meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, Allah will forgive our sins and enter us into a high level of Jannah forever and enjoy its luxuries and its pleasures and its all of the dopamine you're going to get in Jannah forever and ever and ever, inshallah. So that is the benefit of seeking Islamic knowledge. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says in hadith, as narrated by Abi ad-Darda radiyallahu anhu, beautiful hadith, please pay attention to it. من سلك طريقا يلتمس به علما سلك الله به طريقا إلى الجنة. Whoever strives on a path to seek knowledge, Allah will make the path to Jannah easy for them. So know that you come to today's lecture because of this simple act. Yes, it might have been raining, yes, it might have been a lot of traffic, whatever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might make the path to Jannah easy for you just with this simple act. How beautiful is that? And then the hadith continues to say, وَإِنَّ الْمَلَائِكَةَ لَتَضَعُ أَجْنِحَتَهَا رِضًا لِطَالِبِ الْعِلْمِ. And indeed the angels, they place their wings in humility, in shrouding the student of knowledge, the one who takes the path to seek knowledge, pleased with him, surrounding him with just barakah. And then the hadith continues to say, وَفَضْلُ وَإِنَّ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ لَيَسْتَغْفِرُ لِطَالِبِ الْعِلْمِ حَتَّى الْحِيتَانُ فِي الْمَاءِ. And every single creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the heavens and the earth, they ask for forgiveness for the one who is a alim, the one of a scholar, a high level of Islamic knowledge. Listen to this. Even the fish in the ocean, Allah says, they ask for forgiveness for the one who learns the religion of Islam and spreads it to other people. What an honor. Even the fish that you see when you're swimming, or when you go to the aquarium, they're asking for forgiveness for you, because you are someone who wakes up every day and they're like, I need to study some Islam, I need to read this tafsir, I need to read the hadith today, I need to learn more about the religion, I need to learn this lecture, I need to go and study under a shaykh, whatever it is. وَفَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ كفضل القمر على سائر الكواكب. And the honor and the status, listen to this, of the scholar of Islam, the one who learns Islamic knowledge, applies it, understands it, and teaches it, compared to the rest of the Muslims who is just a regular Muslim who worships Allah. Allah says, as the hadith says, it is like the moon on a dark night sky, glowing in phosphorescent and beautiful, compared to the rest of the night sky. The moon is clearly the most beautiful thing in the night sky. Am I right? It is clearly the most glowing and beautiful, and the thing which guides everyone is the moon. Look, it's the moon. That's the honor and the status of a scholar compared to the rest of the Muslims. And then Allah, and then the hadith continues to finally say, إِنَّ الْعُلَمَاءَ لَمْ, or no, sorry, before that, الْعُلَمَاءُ وَرَثَةُ الْأَنْبِيَاء. And this one for me is just amazing. The scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. So the closest people to the prophets, which we have never seen, imagine you got to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood before you, or Ibrahim alayhi salam, or Musa alayhi salam, or Isa alayhi salam, or Yusuf alayhi salam, or Zakaria alayhi salam, or Sulaiman alayhi salam, or Dawood alayhi salam, or Adam alayhi salam. They're right in front of you. We can't see that in this world. But al-ulama'u warathatul anbiya, the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. So you want to be someone who follows in the footsteps of the prophets, and remember the prophets are the most beloved people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His most beloved creation, to the creator of the heavens and the earth. It is the scholar, the one who spends their time seeking Islamic knowledge, as I said, learning it, memorizing it, understanding it, teaching it. What more motivation do you need to come to more of these classes, to search every day on YouTube, on Google, or whatever, pick up that Quran, pick up that tafsir, read it. And then finally, إِنَّ الْعُلَمَاءَ لَمْ يُوَرِّثُوا دِينَارًا وَلَا دِرْهَمًا إِنَّمَا وَرَّثُوا الْعِلْمَ فَمَنْ أَخَذَ بِهِ أَخَذَ بِحَظٍ وَافِرٍ. But the scholars, they don't leave behind dinaran wala dirhama. They don't leave behind, when they pass away, money. Us, when we die, what do? We write in our will, so-and-so is going to get this much, so-and-so is going to get that much. The prophets, they don't care about these things. All the things that the prophets have left behind, that's the only thing they're allowed to leave behind, by the way, is knowledge. Knowledge of this religion. And then the hadith ends by saying, so whoever takes up that knowledge from them, they have indeed taken up the biggest blessing and treasure that possibly exists on this earth. So if this does not motivate us to seek knowledge properly, continuously, every single day, not just one lecture every now and then I do not know what will, honestly. Anyway, that was just an introduction. Probably almost out of time, huh? So, please get your pen and paper out, and or phone out, if you haven't lost your phone, like I did today. And take notes, inshallah, of anything that may benefit you to get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? I'm going to try to go through a number of things to help maintain our iman. Advice to myself first and foremost. Number of points to maintain our iman during this 21st century time of fitna that we live in, where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, سيأتي على الناس زمان القابض على دينه كالقابض على جمرة. A time will come upon the people, and the one who holds on to their religion will be like the one who holds on to, we know it, hot coal. Go past the shisha bars that you see that you shouldn't be in. There's some I saw on the way here. Get that hot coal, hold it. You won't be able to hold it, it's too hot. Like the one who just wakes up a Muslim, by the end of the day they're a kafir. We're living in those times, so how can we maintain our iman? Someone once asked me, how do you maintain your iman all the time to a high level? Not me necessarily, I ask Allah to be this person, inshallah, but how does one do that in general? Here's a number of steps. Let's begin. Bismillah. Get your pen and paper out, and please make notes, because we all forget as human beings. That's what the word insan means. Insan literally means the one who forgets. Isn't that fascinating? Allah says, and Allah created us and called us insan, the one who forgets. And look, we see this all the time. Even Adam alayhi salam, he forgot what Allah told him. Don't come close to that tree. But what did he do? He forgot. And he approached the tree and so on and so forth. You guys know the story. Bismillah. The first thing I would say in order to maintain your iman in today's day and age is definitely your company. Okay? And I know a lot of us have heard this many times before, but it really is important, especially for those who are younger in age. It's really important to surround yourself with people who bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Furqan, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا. Now on the day of judgment, one of us is going to say, I wish, severe regret, I wish I had not taken that person as a friend. Why? لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني. They have distracted me, taken me away, misguided me from the dhikr, the Quran, the hadith. They have distracted me away from remembering Allah after it came to me. So if you have a friend, and you need to now look at your friend group. You need to look at your friend group. Who are your boys? Who are your, I don't know what you guys call them, girls, whatever, sister, them. You need to look at around them and be like, who is bringing me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? UK? Who is bringing me close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If they are not doing so, you need to double question that friendship. Because these aren't my words. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, was once asked by أتى أعرابي إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال, no, sorry, different hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he asked the companions who were sat, as you guys are sat here, he said, ألا أخبركم بخياركم? Shall I not tell you of the best of you? Brothers and sisters. Rasulullah is saying, shall I not tell you of the best of you? They said, Bala, of course. He said, what? He said, الَّذِينَ إِذَا رُؤُوا, when you see them, you just remember, you're reminded of Allah. You see this person, you just remember Allah. Some people you look at them and you're not reminded of Allah. Some people you do. You're shy to be rude in front of this person. You're shy to make a rude joke in front of them. You're shy to swear in front of them. You're shy to even commit a sin in front of this person, even though you know that Allah's watching you. You're shy of this person more than Allah, because this person reminds you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah said, this is the best person. This is the best sister. This is the best brother. So if you don't have this person in your friendship group, then you need to try to find a friend like that. And if you do have a friend like that, this is your best friend. It's not the one who makes you laugh the most. It's not the one that you spend the most time with. It's not the one that you have the most fun with. The one who calls you at 2 a.m. and is like, let's go, what you gotta get pizza, or play FIFA, or play with Barbie or something. I'm just joking. I'm just messing. It's the one who they'll call you at 7:50 and be like, yo, let's go pray Isha in the mosque. I'm going to come pick you up. It's the one who's going to be like, are we going to go for Isha in the mosque today? Which mosque are we going to? It's the one who's going to be like, it's time for Jum'ah, let's go 2 hours early and sit there and read Surah Al-Kahf and sing salawat upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's the sister who says, look, I know you might be struggling with your modesty, but here's some tips to help you dress more modestly, or wear hijab, or so on and so forth. It's the one who brings you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you have this friend, wallahi, this is your best friend. Please, please. Because this person can be the person that helps you get closer to Allah and into a high level of Jannah. Imam Shafi'i used to say, أحب الصالحين ولست منهم لعلي أن أنال بهم شفاعة وأكره من تجارته المعاصي ولو كنا سوا في البضاعة. I love righteous people, Imam Shafi'i would say, even though I'm not one of them. Look how humble he is. لعلي, perhaps I will attain their shafa'ah. لعلي أن أنال بهم شفاعة. Perhaps I'm going to attain their intercession on the day of judgment. Look at the humility. Because on the day of judgment, Allah is going to give certain Muslims the power the ability to ask Allah and say to Allah, oh Allah, this person, I like them. Please forgive them and enter them into Jannah. What power? Only for the righteous. So Imam Shafi'i would say, I love to hang around righteous people. Hang around righteous people. Why? Maybe on the day of judgment they're going to save me. Maybe on the day of judgment they're going to save me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he also says in a hadith, الرَّجُلُ عَلَى دِينِ خَلِيلِهِ فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ مَنْ يُخَالِلْ. These aren't my words. This is what your Prophet said. The one who we follow, the one who is our role model, brothers and sisters, the one who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of Kings, the one who created the heavens and the earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who every single thing in existence is in need of, and He is in need of nothing. He, out of all of His creation, chose the human being to be the most honorable. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. And then out of all the human beings, Allah chose one man. And his name was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he said, this man is my most beloved creation. In fact, Allah says, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You are, Allah's like, you know what, you're actually a sick creation, Allah. This is an amazing creation of mine. You are just beautiful and perfect. Oh Muhammad. This man that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Indeed, in the Prophet Muhammad is a perfect role model for you, O Muslims. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. If you truly claim to love Allah, then you have to follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, so that Allah will love you. The more you follow him, the more you follow his sunnah, the more you think, oh, it's a sunnah, I'm going to do it. Not, oh, it's a sunnah, I don't have to do it. Do you see the big difference? Sahaba, they would be like, sunnah, I'm there. Pick me, ana laha. As soon as they hear, Rasulullah, he advised me, the Prophet advised me to do this. Of course I'm going to do it. I know it's not obligatory, but I want to do it because my beloved Prophet said so. Us, it's a sunnah. I'm okay. I don't have to do it. You're right, you don't have to do it. But this isn't your dad or your mom telling you to do this. Is Rasulullah. Let us change our mindsets, inshallah. So, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, الرجل على دين خليله فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل. That a man or a woman is upon the religion of their best friend or those who they hang around with. So one should look at who they hang around with. Even if you don't think it's going to affect you, wallahi, it affects you. Subconsciously, even kuffar say this. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Okay? Show me who you hang around with, and I'm going to show you where you're going to be in 10 years. Because your friends either push you or they take you back. They're either going to give you positive energy and vibes and motivation and optimism, or they're going to be against your progress. So choose who you hang around with, choose who you spend your time with. Imagine all your friends are people whose top priority is just to enter the heights of Jannah, constantly, day and night. That's all they're thinking of, waking up, sleeping. Of course you're going to become like that. If all your friends, all they do is wake up and play games, and then play more games, and then at night they go shisha, and then they go home and they don't do much ibadah, they don't partake in any Quran classes, they don't seek any knowledge, and you hang around with them all the time, and when you're talking to them, all they talk about is, oh, this girl, that girl, or they're talking about the football. What sports do you guys play here? NFL and stuff, right? All they talk about is sports. That's what you're going to become. Pick your friends wisely. Try to find people who will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you will find these people in the mosques. You will find these people in the prayer rooms of your MSAs or universities and so on and so forth. Just to paint a picture of how important friendship is in Islam, listen to this story that happened in the Seerah. Okay? Just so you can see that I'm not just making this stuff up. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once walks in on Abu Talib, who's on his deathbed, right? He's about to die. Rasulullah walks in. He's the good friend. And he says, Ya Am. By the way, his uncle Abu Talib was his beloved to him, because he looked after him. For the whole time he's in Mecca, Abu Talib is looking after him, even though he's a kafir. So Rasulullah loved him because he had a blood relation to him. He walks in on his uncle, he says, Ya Am, قل لا إله إلا الله كلمة أحاج بك عند الله. Just say La ilaha illallah. Please, just say the word La ilaha illallah. Why? So that I can tell Allah on the day of judgment, oh Allah, yes, my uncle Abu Talib, his whole life was not Muslim, but on his deathbed he said La ilaha illallah. So please, accept my plea and enter him to Jannah. He's reminding him of Allah. Huh? He's reminding him to go pray. He's reminding him to leave off this certain sin. You guys have seen the comparison. He's reminding him not to swear. He's reminding him not to lie as a joke. He's reminding him not to backbite. He's reminding him not to slander. He's reminding him not to disrespect his parents, or if they have had a falling out with their parents, to go and apologize to them. Constantly reminding them to do something that brings them closer to Allah. Constantly advising them. We don't like the haram police. No, I love the haram police. I love them because they are telling me something that's going to help me get closer to Allah. Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, the most beloved people to me are those who advise me and tell me of my faults. Why? So that I can improve. No one is going to tell you what your problem is unless they care about you. No one's going to spend time trying to help change you and fix you and advise you. Of course, it should be done with kindness and wisdom in a gentle way, and every person is different. Just like this bottle has water in it, every single person is a different bottle. Huh? You have to adapt yourself to that bottle and advise them in a certain manner. Umar radiallahu anhu said, the most beloved people to me are those who advise me and pick out my faults so I can improve because they care about me. So when someone tries to do that to you, don't say, oh, focus on yourself. What about you? Don't you do this? Don't do that. Allah hates this person, actually, as per the hadith. Allah really dislikes the person who does that. So when the haram police come for you, let them have you. It's okay. No problems. So, Rasulullah is walking in. Abu Talib is on his deathbed. And he says, just say La ilaha illallah. Abu Jahl walks in, the arch nemesis of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah? He's the bad guy. And he says to Abu Talib, are you really going to go back on the religion of your forefathers? Really? He's trying to take him away from Allah. He's the friend who's inviting you to go clubbing. He's the friend who's inviting you to go shisha. Or he's the friend who's inviting you to go smoke, I don't know, do drugs, to do this sin, to do that sin. Who's sending you perhaps images that you shouldn't be looking at. You guys get the point. Any kind of friend which is not bring you closer to Allah. That is Abu Jahl. What does Abu Talib do? He listens to Abu Jahl and he dies a kafir. And because of that, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Huwa fi an-nar," is in hellfire. End of story. He listened to his bad friend and that took him to the hellfire, literally. Because had he just listened to Rasulullah and said La ilaha illallah, he would have been in Jannah. Do you see how, honestly, how critical it is to pick your friends wisely? Remember, الَّذِينَ إِذَا رُؤُوا ذُكِرَ اللَّهِ. Your friend is the one who, when you see them, you remember Allah. And the one who, when you're around them, you just feel a boost of Iman. You go to them for advice. You go to them to recharge your Iman. You have these people. Be this person. If you don't think that you're this person, be this person. Why not? Okay? So that's the first point on maintaining your Iman in the 21st century. How long left do we have? Still have some time, huh? It's got 9 more points. But I'll zoom through them, inshallah. Number 2, of course, critically is our prayers. We have to, of course, be praying 5 times a day. This isn't something that I need to remind people of. But praying 5 times a day is necessary to call yourself a Muslim, inshallah. Of course, there's different. The point is, you should be praying 5 times a day, because this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded us, because Allah commanded us this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he actually says in a hadith, "Al-ahd alladhi bayni wa baynahum as-salah, faman tarakaha faqad kafar." The covenant between me, or us Muslims, and the kuffar, the one who has disbelieved in Allah and is bound and destined for Jahannam, is the prayer. Whoever has leaved it has done kufr. This is if you leave all 5 prayers, as the majority of scholars say. Okay? You don't even want to leave one prayer. Why do you even want to risk it? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in another hadith, alayhi salatu wassalam, بين الرجل وبين الشرك والكفر ترك الصلاة. That between a man and shirk and kufr, the two sins that Allah doesn't forgive, the two of the greatest calamities, is leaving the prayer. You cannot leave the prayer. The prayer is the only thing that should. How can you live and not pray? That's something that I don't understand. How can you live and not pray? How can you live and not pray 5 times a day? So please, if we are struggling to pray 5 times a day, then try just do 1. Then try just do 2. And do 3, 4, 5 till it's consistent. Even if you're the biggest sinner, even if you've just committed zina, get up, make wudu and pray. Because the prayer is meant to clean you and purify you and get you back on that path. No matter what you're going through, no matter what sin you're committing or how bad you think you are, please don't ever leave off the prayer. And when you're praying, this is the important bit as well, inshallah, to maintain your iman and to ensure, inshallah, you stay on that straight path, on that path of guidance, inshallah. When you're reciting the Fatiha, please don't just say, as a lot of us do, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, like this. We call them Imam Ferrari, right? Just slow down. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he was reciting Quran, he would take a breath between every verse. Did we know that? Why don't we do that? He would go, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. He'd breathe. He'd think about the verse he's about to recite. Because he understands what this prayer is. It's a meeting between him and Allah. He doesn't want to miss this meeting. He doesn't want to miss a meeting with the King of Kings. He understands who he stood before. Allah. Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar. The one and only Supreme King of Kings. He knows he stood before a Lord who is waiting to give him, waiting for him to be asked. If you had a meeting with, who's the most famous sports person in America? LeBron James, right? If you had a meeting with LeBron at 3 p.m. tomorrow, sisters, I don't know who you guys are going, I'm going to be honest. If you had a meeting with him at 3 p.m. tomorrow, would you be late? Yeah. No, you wouldn't. And you knew LeBron would give you $1 million if you got one layup. Impossible that you're missing that meeting. Impossible. You're going to be there early. What about going for a flight? Let's just make it more realistic. Are you going to miss that flight? No. You're going to be there 2-3 hours early. Some parents, 7 hours early. What's going on? You're not going to miss that flight. Why? Because I paid money for this. Huh? I worked hard for that money. Excuse me. Allah has invited you to stand before Him 5 times a day, minimum. And He is the one who controls the heavens and the earth. And He is saying, ask me, I will give you. Huh? Pray to me and I will give you guidance. Pray to me and I will soothe your pains and your anxieties and your worries. You want risk? Pray to me. You want help? Pray to me. You want Jannah? Pray to me. And by the way, Allah doesn't need our prayer. Allah doesn't need us to fast. He doesn't need us to go Umrah. He doesn't need you to wear the hijab. Allah doesn't need you to do leaving drugs or doing all these things. This is for us. Because Allah is Ghaniyun, Kareem. إن تكفروا فإن الله غني عنكم وإن تشكروا يرضه لكم. If you don't commit kufr, if you distance yourself away from Allah, Allah says, I don't need you, by the way. You're the one who needs me, because I'm in control, and you're a poor slave, you have nothing, and I have everything. But the closer you get to me, the more I will give you, and look after you, and love you. So come close to me. Take one step to me, and I will come to you running. Allah says. If you feel like you have lost your iman, pay attention to this. If you feel like you've lost your iman, or you become distant from Allah, ask yourself, who moved first? Who moved first? Because it wasn't Allah. Allah will never move away from their slave unless you have moved away first. So the prayer, when you're reciting it, you take a pause, a breath, think about who you stood before, think about this could be my last ever prayer, write this down, this could be my last ever prayer. And when you recite, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Oh Allah, guide me to the straight path. Really mean this statement. Please, really mean it. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. It is impossible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to misguide someone who asks 17 times a day, oh Allah, guide me to the straight path. It's not possible. Which means anyone who you see is misguided, or committing major sins, or is distant from Allah, or is arrogant, know that they're not praying properly. Because the prayer is meant to guide you and keep you firm. 5 minutes left. Oh, okay. So make sure to focus on this. Oh Allah, guide us to the straight path, please. When I heard this, just once, sometimes one sentence can change your life, honestly. When you pray and you say, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, oh Allah, guide me to the straight path, pause, think about that verse, say it from your heart, say it from your chest. It will change your life, I promise you. Because if you fix the prayer, it will fix your life. Every problem you have can be fixed with prayer. You go through a hardship, just pray. The prayer will fix it eventually. Just trust your Lord. Okay? I will tell you one final story about khushu' in prayer, concentration in prayer, before we have a halftime show, right? For the bazaar. So I'm trying to use the American word because I'm in America. The story is mentioned in Sirat A'lam al-Nubala by Imam al-Dhahabi. Listen to this amazing story. This story is beautiful. As I said, sometimes a sentence will change your life, sometimes a story will change the way you pray. One time, and by the way, khushu', concentration in prayer is very important. Why? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in a hadith, إِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لَيَنْصَرِفُ مِنْ صَلَاتِهِ وَلَا يَنْصَرِفُ وَمَا كُتِبَ لَهُ مِنْ صَلَاتِهِ إِلَّا تُسْعُهَا كُلُّهَا سُبْعُهَا سُدْسُهَا خُمْسُهَا رُبْعُهَا ثُلُثُهَا نِصْفُهَا. That a man or a woman may stand up to pray, and they are not given the reward of the prayer except a ninth of it. You've prayed, but you only get a ninth of the reward. What a shame. Or an eighth, or a seventh, or a sixth, or a fifth, or a fourth, or a third, or half of the reward of the prayer, based on your level of khushu'. It's a game. It's a game, honestly. You have to try and get 10 out of 10 in every prayer. If not 9, if not 8, if not 7. Try and aim for the top numbers. The more khushu', concentration, and connection you have with Allah during the prayer, the more you'll get the reward. And remember, this directly translates to Allah loving you more, which directly translates to Allah elevating you in a higher rank in Jannah, so you can enjoy Jannah for a longer period of time, where Allah says, مَا لَا عَيْنٌ رَأَتْ وَلَا أُذُنٌ سَمِعَتْ وَلَا خَطَرَ عَلَى قَلْبِ بَشَرٍ, where no eye has ever seen, where no ear has ever been able to imagine, where no heart has ever been able to ponder or fathom. Imagine the amazing pleasures that you're going to experience in Jannah. Man and woman. Allah says in the Quran, فِي شُغُلٍ فَاكِهُونَ. What a statement. They're so busy in Jannah, enjoying themselves, Allah says, they don't have time to be bored. Someone in the previous talk asked me, if you can get whatever you want in Jannah, won't you get bored? I said, Allah says, you're going to be so busy that you don't even have time to be bored. What is Jannah? It's unfathomable. So the high level of the Jannah, you get to enjoy more of this, more of these pleasures that Allah has prepared in store for you. And that starts with the prayer, and the more concentration and khushu' you have in the prayer, the more reward you get, the higher level you get. It all links. You have to think of it like that. Everything I do in this world directly translates to that world. Anyway, let me end with the story. So, Imam Dhahabi narrates in Sirat A'lam al-Nubala that one time there was a group of travelers who were traveling from around Syria to Yemen, or vice versa. And they set up camp. Okay? And then they were preparing for bed. One man, he begins his tahajjud, his qiyamul layl, his night prayer. Okay? And then a lion comes. A big, ferocious, scary lion. And I just recently came from Kenya and saw a lion. It was very scary. Of course I wasn't scared. Of course. Anyway, so a lion came, right? And this man, this is narrated by Imam al-Dhahabi in Sirat A'lam al-Nubala, so we hope it to be a true story. Why would the scholars lie? And all of his gang, all of his mandem, they ran up the tree, right? And they hid. This is true. They hid. Of course, it's a lion. Any normal person would do that. He continues to pray. He does not care. The lion is in front of him, right, left, behind, it's encircling him. This guy is in a different world. He's just praying to Allah, reciting Quran in his qiyamul layl. That khushu' that he has. The lion, anyway, ends up going and leaving him alone. They come down from the tree, or for wherever they hid, and they said, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you not? There was a lion and you didn't break your prayer? What's wrong with you? Why did you run away? Why did you hide?" Look at this statement. Write it in gold. Write it in your notes. Record it, memorize it. And remember it next time you stand in prayer. He said, "استحييت من الله أن أقف بين يديه ثم أخاف خلقي من خلقه." He said, I was shy to stand before Allah. I was shy to stand before Allah in prayer, and then I fear the creation of Allah, when Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth. How can I fear this lion when I'm stood before Allah, the King of Kings? Look at the level of khushu' that he had, because he understood who he stood before when he prayed. He's not just praying like a robot. He's praying properly. That is a 10 out of 10 prayer. To the point where if a lion came, no problems. I'm stood before Allah. What is this lion in comparison to the King of Kings, when He created this lion and everything else in this world? So please remember this story. Next time you stand up before, you pray and you say Allahu Akbar. Inshallah, we'll take a small break. I believe there's a lot of things in the other room, so feel free to go and check that out. Sisters and then brothers after, or brothers first and then sisters, whatever, you can take over.
Inshallah, sisters first, please take your time. Khadija will be leading you and then also telling you when to switch, and then I'll tell the brothers to go. So sisters, please go ahead, get some snacks, buy some stuff, and come back soon, inshallah. Brothers, please leave here.